Welcome to the Artie Lange Show. My next guest, a good friend of mine, buddy of mine for a long time, great comic. Just moved into a new home, I hear.
I'm in.
Has his own
finally
podcast called Fitch and Joe. Joe Matarese. What's up, buddy?
How are you? Thanks for having me back.
It's been a while. How you doing?
I can't take you serious in the sunglasses.
Trying to be cool. I'm trying to be rock and roll Artie. No, so have you been sick, you just said?
Yeah, I thought it was going to get back to you.
Alcohol poisoning?
No, because Bichetti kind of connected with me. I had Bell's palsy for four and a half weeks.
What is that? Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, what happened?
It's like you had a stroke, kind of. Like the right side of my face went out. I couldn't blink my eye, and my mouth didn't work. It was really hard to eat.
Oh man!
And you're not numb.
Did you lose weight?
I've lost about 12 pounds because
Which on you is a lot of weight because you're a thin guy.
Yeah, I was about 182 and I'm down to probably 170.
Where did this happen, Joe? And like, did you feel it happening, or just like you wake up one day? And
I woke up and I just started my face felt a little numb and like weird, like it wasn't working. It was weird. Like I guess that's what happens when people get paralyzed or something. You think your body's gonna go numb, but what happens is you're staring at yourself in the mirror and you're like, let me make my eye blink. And you're like, you literally are like, my eye doesn't blink.
Wow.
So I had to put drops in my eyes. I had trouble eating. And then on top
of it,
you
slept on it wrong or something.
Yeah. I thought I had like a pulled
impingement,
pinched nerve in my neck or something.
This didn't happen on the road, did it?
No, but
could you imagine waking up on the road like that? You got a show that night.
I had a show 10 days later though, and I had all these gigs in University in New Haven. I do it every summer. I do 6 shows there.
And this is to the point where you couldn't perform.
I literally hired 2 guys to open for me to do half my time, and I was up there like, maybe I can do it. Like, I'm trying to do my act like this.
Like, are you exaggerating right now, or is it that bad?
It was like that. I have pictures on my Facebook page where you can see me.
Dude,
like,
are you freaking out? Like, do you think you had a full stroke? Like,
I thought I did. I went to the ER, and they said, can you blink both eyes? This is how they can tell it's Bell's palsy. The lines in your forehead only go to, like, here. And I couldn't make this eyebrow go up, and I couldn't close my eyes tightly. Only one eye closed. It sucked for showers. Like, imagine taking a shower and you think both your eyes are closed, so you think you can wash your hair, and the suds just go in your eye because there's a little like hair of opening.
Well, I feel terrible. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I would have called you. I feel bad.
Nah, that's all right. I didn't tell you.
Buschetti, you knew about this?
He knew because he had it.
I had it for 4 months. I told you a while ago. Maybe. But
you never told me Joe Matarese has Bell's palsy.
Maybe a while ago. I did.
Look at him. You know he's lying.
No, I'm not lying. I told you on the ride.
Stop adjusting your chair.
No, but it was on the ride home. Maybe you just forgot. But I mean, I told you.
Who listens to you on the ride home?
I still feel signs of it right now, believe it or not.
It's horrible.
But now, what causes it?
But I was just telling John that one thing is Lyme disease.
Yeah.
So I've been checked twice in the past month for Lyme disease, and I don't have it. I think stress.
Listen, man. Honestly, I don't know how I don't have Bell's palsy. How do you have it? Because I'm stressed. I'm obese.
You could
does obese have something? I'm sure obesity has something.
Well, this is what's even more interesting. I think you'll find because you say you don't eat well and stuff. I go into
I don't just say that. There's evidence of it.
Well, I go into the ER. They check my blood pressure, and they're like, "Wow, your blood pressure is really high." And I'm thinking,
probably because you're freaked out that your face won't move.
Well, that's what I was thinking. So then I went to the doctor a week later to follow up, and it was still the same height of highness. So
I got to tell you, that's one thing. It must be hereditary with me. No matter how fat, whatever, I've always had perfectly normal blood pressure for some reason.
You're lucky.
I got horrible
terrible.
cholesterol.
Mine's high. And then they checked the cholesterol, and that was high too. So he put me on meds.
How high was your cholesterol?
My cholesterol is like, oh my God, it's embarrassing. It was like the high number was 330. That's like insane.
That's pretty bad.
And then the low number was like
where I am.
2 something, but it was like 240. But I had been just with
That's high. That is.
With the Celexa that I'm on, I have no. I have no willpower whatsoever.
What about
eating
that?
everything
What about
bad.
the Celexa, dude? Well, let's go to that. I think it's a side effect of that.
What, eating?
No, I think Bell's palsy is a
face.
side effect of the selection.
That's what some other people said. I don't think that. I think
Is that?
Were
Joe,
you on it,
wait,
Mike?
Yeah, that's me.
I'm looking at a picture on your Facebook. You're telling
That's me trying
you're
to
being,
smile.
You're being honest right now. That's not you goofing around.
that's not me goofing around. I was trying to smile
Oh my
perfectly.
God.
And I couldn't make my one side of my mouth go up.
And how long did it last for?
4 weeks.
Now, is that the typical amount of time? Were you worried?
I was worried. Some people have it for 6 months. Some
Yeah,
people
Mike
have it
said
a year.
he had 4 months worth, but then he electrocuted his face.
No,
and
but
it
I
made-
went
and
for
it
like
went away.
What?
No, like they had some kind of thing with it, like electrolysis type thing. But
Electrolysis.
no,
That's
it's
for your
horrible. It's
It's for
fucking
your
brutal.
back. That's for your back.
No, I mean anybody can wake up with it. It could happen anytime. Joe, ask Joe, right?
How often have you had it?
Just once, but it was horrible.
It's not a multiple kind of thing. It's kind of like getting what's that thing called?
Chickenpox?
Not chickenpox. The other one.
Shingles?
Shingles. It's kind of compared
Why
to
shingles is something that only happens once?
That. Well, you don't hear people
I don't
get.
know.
You could get it twice, but it's rare.
You don't hear about a lot. A lot of people get aluminum siding these days.
So
I do. That is really well. I'm glad it only lasted the 4 weeks. Man. So did you have to cancel gigs?
no, I didn't.
You didn't. Wow.
I made it to those gigs, but it was hard.
How
man.
much
'Cause when
of
I
your
would,
act-
you know, when you kind of laugh on stage,
Yeah.
like you say something, you ad lib it, and I was like,
How much of your act did you spend describing that?
I brought a girl up on stage the first couple shows I did with it because my eye wouldn't blink and I had to do eye drops. I go, check this out. I go, you could hit my eye from here. I'm not gonna blink. And I made a girl put the eye dropper up here, and I was trying to land my eye in it because it wouldn't blink.
Could you imagine if you had Levy's closer where you had to, take with your mouth the blue cheese dressing out of a girl's and you couldn't even do it with a crooked mouth? It'd be terrible. Well, I really well. So okay, so
The other
you're
thing
100% better.
Well, other thing I was going to tell you, since this is this is a sports show, I would literally, when I got put on the blood pressure medicine, one of the side effects of that is you get kind of lightheaded and dizzy. You know when you stand up really fast and you get that feeling?
Yeah.
I tried to play golf twice. You look down to line up your ball, and I would look up like that, and I would just start feeling like I'm going down. Like
Dude,
I just
maybe
took
you
a
need to
knockout
take
punch.
a different.
That's how you're making it a sports story. Yeah.
It's a sports story.
You
Playing
didn't have
golf.
to- you didn't have to
Every
do
time
that.
I looked up,
You might want to experiment with
sound?
that dosage, man.
Yeah.
Well,
that might not be right.
I'm starting to get used to it now. It's doing it way less than you go on WebMD and it said side effect dizziness. It
What are
takes
you
about a
taking?
month to get used to it.
for that.
do
I'm
you-
on 3.
Do you know the
blood
name of them?
pressure
Which one are
medicines.
you on?
I'm on
Benacar.
Benacar.
I'm on that.
I took Benacar when I was playing football because it was the least innocuous.
I'm
Like
on,
when I think about it, when you're coming in and out of a 3-point stance, if you get dizzy every time.
Yeah, what happened?
I mean,
Were you dizzy on it?
Benacar didn't do that to me. No.
Oh my!
I'm
So
on one
I was
called
taking it
I'm
then.
on one called Crooked Mouth. at least be a trooper. How would it sound if Harry Callis had Bell's palsy?
Hey, I can't feel the right side of my lip. It's feeling a little dumb.
No, but what else? What about brushing your teeth? Everything like
Brushing your teeth was hard. Drinking, I lost a lot of weight because every day for lunch I was getting one of these like shakes that I go, what's a meal? I would go into the shake place, Robux or something. What's like a meal?
Yeah.
And he would give me this one that said heart health, and I was like, that's got to be good for me. Give me the heart health. And I was
It
like,
must have been hard.
you couldn't even suck.
Now, was
Like,
your eye like? It must have been hard too because we know from your last 2 visits you have a drinking problem.
Yeah. I'm finding all this out. I'm gonna see. I don't know how you do it. Well, you don't have the
Dude,
scare
I think
health.
alcohol and the Celexa, dude. I'm telling you.
But I haven't been drinking. I'm telling you, since I found this out that I had the cholesterol and the blood
The blood
pressure.
pressure, drinking's bad.
I've been
for
eating
that, man.
vegetables. I've been like eating
That's it.
no meats. I've been so healthy. It's
That's it,
ridiculous.
the
I started
vegetables.
running every day.
Is your blood pressure under control now? I
Yeah,
mean, have you been taking it?
with the medication, it's fine.
Oh, that's good.
Good. Well, listen. So they think it's something that doesn't come back.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Bell's palsy as much as how do I got to eat really well. I got 2 kids. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't be that guy that was I was eating bacon cheeseburgers like 3 nights a week.
You were?
Yeah, I was up to one.
You never did that around me.
I
What, you eat bad? I never saw you eat bad on
I
the
was
road.
eating. I was 184 when I got weighed in the ER, and I always weighed like 168 to 170, like my whole life. I've always
Yeah?
been kind of thin, and I was starting to get a. If you watch my I did Letterman like about 2 months before that.
Yeah.
And you ever like, it's funny to say this to you. I'm watching my set on TV. I go, I look bloated. Like, that's a big version of me. It's not fat, but it's puffy.
I've said it before. I've thought you look bloated. Well, not to, now that you.
I'm hoping that I look good when I see this back, and I'll know.
You do. I think you look good.
You look slender. Yeah.
Do I look too skinny?
No.
Do I look
First of all,
unhealthy?
what are you, broad now? I mean, come on.
You look healthy, man.
You look fine. You
all
look
right.
good.
very, very good.
You look good. Now
Healthy.
that you're over the stress, let me try to help out your stress by telling you Terry Fader made $24 million.
Yeah, I laughed. I didn't know who that was either.
Never heard of him. And you know this, he got a Vegas deal.
He's a ventriloquist.
He's a ventriloquist in Vegas.
So that deal is that amount of money.
Vegas is where you got to go.
Well, it is true. Here's the thing. Thanks to his 5-year contract with the Mirage, worth $100 million. He's got a 5-year, $100 million deal at the Mirage. See, that's why in the old days you heard about like Shecky Green and Rickles even. They want him to do movies, and they go, listen, I'm not taking 4 weeks out of my stand-up in Vegas to make a stupid movie where you pay me $80 grand. I make $4 million a year back then in Vegas. Guys like him and what was that other guy who died? The guy that owned the Mirage.
Who was that?
He just died recently. He used to do Peter Falk.
Oh, that guy.
Every hacky impression.
He was the impression
He made like
guy.
$200 million.
Danny Gantz.
Danny Gantz.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, you
it's
got to
like-
get to Vegas.
But it's like with Pat. I remember seeing Pat Cooper interviewed on Letterman years and years ago,
Right.
and he was like screaming on Letterman, going, "Hey, you get the door. That's what you do, Dave. You get the door. If you bring the people, you deserve the money, and you do. I mean, I guess if you're gonna go and be a hacky ventriloquist, go full force with it.
Don't do it half-ass. You're right.
Go
what the
all
hell?
the way.
Yeah, do Peter Falk.
Yeah.
Do Peter Falk and every other impression.
Did you ever work with Gemini?
Yes,
He has a penis puppet.
I know.
Like, that's going full out. Like, you're not only is it a puppet, it's a genitalia
And guess
puppet.
what? Number 11 on the list, Gemini. 8 million last year. No, you're right. Why? I totally agree with you. Don't do it half-ass. Like, the worst hacks are the ones that don't realize they're a hack and don't embrace it and go full force, because they're hacks that don't make any money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't like the hacks that embrace it, like Larry the Cable Guy. He's just embracing it, man. I don't care what you think.
Right.
I got 4 enormous mansions
Exactly.
because I'm saying get her done. I don't care about you.
What did Carrot Top make last year? Can we find
We don't
that
have
out?
those
He's
figures.
got a probably pretty big deal.
He
in
might have
Vegas.
veered off.
Yeah, he's Vegas,
The thing is, who fell off on the list just drastically is Dane Cook. He mastered this list a long time. And, what is with Dane? Like, what do you hear about it? Like, I know his brother-in-law or whatever ripped off all his money, and he's not doing what he used to do. It kind of makes me sad.
He was everywhere.
Like, now I like him more. you
Yeah,
know?
I like him more. I think he's trying to do a more honest act where he was a little like.
So he still actively tours and stuff.
Yeah, I think he was trying to do like more of an honest. Both his parents died. I mean, he's got a lot of weird stuff in his life that
did
he never.
really?
I think both his. That'd be funny if I
At
was
a young
completely
age?
wrong.
At a
Someone
young
Google
age?
that.
Yeah,
I
at a
could be
young age.
completely wrong.
And Google who
He's
exactly
having a
ripped off
tough
his money.
time.
Was it a brother-in-law or a stepbrother?
It was like
He
a
just
stepbrother.
announced his tour for
Stepbrother.
his next one, Under Oath tour. So
Oh,
I've got
okay.
that for you. Let me look for the rest.
Yeah, I want to
And
see.
he's got a big movie coming out. Isn't he the voice in one of those animated
Oh, he
huge
is.
ones? Which movie is
Well, I
it?
hope he sacks. I think he sacks some money away, but until it's whoever ripped him off, it's either a brother-in-law, a cousin, a really good friend that he calls like a brother who ripped him off.
I
For
think it's his stepbrother.
business manager. He made him and mega money.
By his, by his
he
own
was in-
brother.
His own brother,
Yeah.
full brother.
It wasn't a full brother. It's a half brother
Probably
or
a half
sort.
brother.
Yeah, something like that.
In the animated movie, he's a voice in his Planes, which is Disney's next thing. Like Cars was
he's
really
got-
big.
Probably got
Planes.
some
He's
money
got
with
a
that.
huge part in that, and that's a
Oh,
lot.
planes like cars.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
Now, Danny, does it say how much the guy ripped them off for? Because this makes
finding out.
makes me furious. It makes me furious when you think about the money. How hard it is to stand up on the road, traveling, the planes, the hotels, the dealing. And even though he was high up there,
Oh, he was
you still
doing
got to
movies.
travel. Yeah, but still, mostly this was stand-up money he made.
Really?
When I hear
It's blood
stand-up,
money. It's blood money.
but when I hear stand-up money, I'm not even jealous of it. I'm like, that's a lot of work. If it's like
Right,
when
you're
it's-
right. It's a lot of work.
When it's the sitcom like Jerry Seinfeld and he's getting the residuals like that, I'm jealous of
He
it.
you
had,
gonna do?
he had many instances of ripping off Dane, but so they could. There was too many to list here, but one of them was for $3 million.
So he kept rehiring him?
He deposited a check that was supposed to go to Dane into his own account.
Forged it, yeah.
Forged it.
A $3 million check. Could you imagine? That's oh God. No, you're right. I agree with you, Joe. Because whether you like the guy or not, it still means he's up there doing an hour on stage, stand up. You know, it's like whether it's the Garden or the Funny Bone, it's work.
Yeah, and you
It's
kind of
traveling and
who didn't earn. If you're making that kind of money, who didn't earn it? Like, there's no way to sneak in and make that much doing a comedy.
Not in stand up, man. You gotta even if it's a hacky, awful act. That you're stealing, even if you're stealing every joke, you're still working, unfortunately.
And you have to tell it. Like, I mean, Larry the Cable Guy. I mean,
He still has to tell jokes.
he came up with that thing on his own. He
I
didn't.
guess
No
so.
one gave him it.
11 million bucks, right?
I think John Ritchie should go out as who's
You
the
could think of something.
who's the guy in
13
Toy
million
Story
for
that I
Larry.
say you look like?
Buzz Lightyear.
But he's Buzz Lightyear. You
Yeah,
should
go
out
out
as
and rip
Buzz
that
Lightyear.
off. I'm sure you won't
I
get
just
sued.
saw lots of Buzz Lightyear.
I'm sure
stuff.
Pixar's not the kind of place that would sue you for that. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. Well, I'm going to make this really like sports. We're going to come back with Joe and have more about his Buddy Bell's palsy. Was that the third baseman, Buddy Bell?
I have a Bell's palsy joke that I'll tell you I did.
Albert Bell's palsy.
I just
teased it. We're going to tease it. Come back. Bell's palsy joke. Joe Matarese.